Hey guys, welcome. And I don't know why you chose Rotman, UfT for business. I truly don't know, but if you did, you're in the right place because I will be categorizing all of the courses that I've taken for semester one in my freshman year and just letting you know what to do and what not to do, any tips, advice, when to take a course, when not to take a course, etc., etc. So as you can see, we have a tier list and there are 5 tiers, S being, wait, I'm not going to skip class. It's actually a pretty interesting class. It's really good, hence the reason why no one skips it. A is, wait, I'm learning. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm learning something from business. I know, crazy, right? And B is, whatever, it's just a side quest. It is what it is. It's just a normal course. Doesn't matter. I'm just taking it for the sake of taking it. C is, just let me pass. Like, there's a lot of courses at Rotman, to be honest. It's like, I just want to pass. I don't care about my mark. I just want to pass and get my credit. And D is hashtag dropouts. It's like, oh my god, if I fail my course, I'm going to drop out of Rotman. I am not retaking that course ever again in my life. So let's get started. So let's get started with the first course that I'm going to be ranking, and that will be RSM219. So as you can see, it starts with a 2, which is very different from the other courses that I'll be ranking. They're all 1 something, meaning that this is actually a second year course. And the reason why I'm taking a second year course is not because, I'm special like that or anything. It's actually pretty normal for Rotman students to be taking a second year course during their first year. And there's actually 3 courses that a lot of Rotman students or Rotman highly suggest or encourage students to take during their first year. And that is RSM219, RSM250, and RSM230. So RSM230 is financial market. That needs to be taken in Sem 2. You cannot take it in Sem 1 because there's like a prerequisite or something. So the only 2 that you could take is RSM219 or RSM250 during your semester 1 of your first year course. And most of the time, you usually just take 1 or you don't even take any because you might be taking an elective instead of like taking a second year course. So for me, I chose to take RSM219 first. Do all of the courses that I've took for semester 1 and I am currently taking for semester 2. So you have a general idea of my course outline. So for semester 1, I have taken RSM219, which is financial accounting, MAT133, that is actually a 1-year course, meaning I take it in Sem 1 and Sem 2. MAT133 is just calculus, ECO101, so that's microeconomics, RSM100, that's just like foundational business, just business course, and CSC108, computer science. So CSC108 was my elective in semester 1. So in semester 2, which is currently right now, as I am currently filming, I am currently taking FAH 101, so that is art history, Math 133, math because it's a 1-year course, RSM 250, that's marketing, RSM 230, that's financial market, and last but not least, ECO 102 macro. So for each semester, I am currently taking 5 courses per semester. Okay, so let's get back to it. RSM 219, I would say, in terms of, oh my god, okay. So in terms of the professor, I had Dragan Stojanovic. I can't pronounce his last name. I am very sorry, professor. He explains the concepts very thoroughly, and honestly, I would rate him as a 4 out of 5 stars. I really like his vibe. He's very organized, very well structured. I think the entire course itself is very well structured. So 4 out of 5 stars. And in terms of the content, it's hella boring. I'm sorry. I feel like it's because I guess I just don't like accounting. I've never taken accounting in high school too, so I didn't really have the foundation as well. So it was really boring for me. I had trouble. I needed to stay awake during class because not only my class was 9 in the morning, but also accounting was just hella boring for me. And also in terms of RSM 219, at least this year because it got restructured, RSM 219 you kind of need some basic foundation of accounting before coming in. Like, technically speaking, you could have like zero experience like me and just walk into RSM219 and do ish well. But the thing is, they move super, super fast. And if you don't have the prior knowledge of accounting, like for example, me, you would have a hard time keeping up. So yeah, so that's why I did not like it. And in terms of marks, if you try, you could do well. For me, I did not try because I did not like the course, like accounting in general. It's not like I didn't like the teacher. The teacher was fine. He was fabulous. It's just that I did not like accounting. So I rated like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So I just did like average. Like I was literally class average, which is a B. So coming from someone who had zero experience in accounting, did not know what a cash flow was, did not know what a balance sheet was, and I did not have like too much time to study accounting as well because I had other stuff to do. I think it's manageable. It's just not the greatest time. So yeah. So that's RSM219. Okay, let's move on to MAT133. MAT133 is the red one here. And as you can see, MAT133 is calculus. And this is a 1-year course, meaning that you take in semester 1 and semester 2. And in terms of marks, I would say if you take it seriously, it's easy to get a good mark. A good mark as in like above 85. Like for example, for me, there's 3 term tests for math. And for the first term test, I did not take math seriously. Like, I was like, bro, math is a joke. I learned all of this in high school. I don't need to study at all. So I walked into the exam center, did not study, did not even study for 1 minute. And let's just say I did not do too well. I think I got like a maybe 60, 70-ish on the exam. Not my brightest moments, because in high school, I usually get 90, like high 90s and whatnot. So that was kind of a wake-up call. So I think Math 133 is the type of course that you need to take it seriously, even though a lot of people don't take it seriously. Like, if you want to have a good mark, then obviously study, because even though the concepts are easy, the questions usually have some like twist in it or whatever it is, and you do need to practice in order to do well or to get a mark that you want. So that's Math 133. And I think like overall, I would rate it as like just a whatever course. It's just a course that you have to take. Like, it's nothing like too special in my opinion. But yeah. Okay, so we're done with math. Oh, ECO101. That's my favorite course. Quotation sarcasm. ECO101, I think if you ask a lot of people who have taken ECO101, it's a very mixed result. It's either, oh, it's not that bad, honestly, or it's, oh my god, do not talk about ECO101 ever again in my face. So, or it's a mix of both. But for me, I found it all right. My professor was Professor Freitas. I think you might have her as ECO101 because I think she always teaches ECO101, so you're probably gonna have her. Essentially, I like before semester 2, I was gonna rate her as like a 3 out of 5 stars. She's just like an average professor. Like, you know, like she has her peak moments, but there's also like some pretty like not so great moments with her as well. So I was like, okay, whatever, she's an average professor. But after semester 2, when I got introduced to ECO102, which is macroeconomics, I was like, never mind, she's a pretty good teacher. So now she got bumped up to a 4 out of 5 stars. And let's see, content. The content near the end is actually pretty interesting. Like when you get into like oligopoly, game theory, and whatnot. Like I think it's pretty interesting. It's like more based on like consumer behavior, psychology. So if you're like a psychology girly, I guess, then you're probably gonna like that part. But at the very beginning, it's more like math based, I would say. So very logical. And to be honest, you just need to grind out the practice questions that Frida's give you. And yeah, it's just practice makes progress. That's literally it. And in terms of marks, if you try really hard, I think you can get a decent mark, as in like above an 85. Like for me, my final mark for micro was an A. I would say I used maybe 70% of my effort, I would say. Like I didn't really, like I did try hard because I knew that ECO 101 was one of the toughest courses in Rotman. But I didn't try so hard. Like I didn't like, lock myself in a room, study 10 hours a day every single night. Like I did not do that because I had like other stuff to do. But yeah, so I don't think it's that bad. Like if you try and you give yourself enough time to review, revise, learn the concepts actually, and go to office hours, I think it's totally doable. Like it's not as bad as people say. So Eco 101, I feel like just going with the majority of what people say, it's like a just let me pass moment. Like even though I did pretty well, oh my god, okay. Oh my god, holy, that was my iPad, sorry. Like even though like I did pretty well, I got like an A in the course, but I think the class average was like a C or something. Like it was not good. Like I think eco, maybe aside from RSM100, like we're gonna get to that course later, but aside from that course, I think Eco 101 has one of the highest like failing rate, as in like you need to retake the course again because like you didn't pass the required mark to get into Rotman. And that's why I kind of put it in C, just let me pass, because I did have some moments in someone I'm just like, oh my god, I don't care about my mark, I just want to pass. I'm so sick of doing questions every single day. It's so bad. Like even though I did spend like 10 hours locked into Robart's library, but I did spend like quite some time, maybe like 2 hours a day. I feel like that's kind of not a lot of time. But like I did spend a lot of time grinding those freaking questions. Like it was so bad. It was traumatizing. Yeah. So I guess like for majority of Rotman, I would say it's like just let me pass. Yeah. Okay, moving on to RSM100, one of my other favorite course. So I think in terms of the most talked about courses here in Rotman, it's ECO101 and RSM100. ECO101 is talked a lot is because of its difficulty and also the high failing rate, because a lot of people, I would say maybe like 20%. Actually, I don't know, don't quote me on it, but there is a huge portion of people who need to retake the course for Eco 101. RSM 100 is a different story. RSM 100 is a different story, and it's mostly because of its professor. If you're in Rotman and you're a first year student, you will know the name of Michael Kahn. Michael Kahn is a professor of RSM 100. RSM 100 is the mandatory course that all Rotman kids need to take. I mean, the other courses that I've just mentioned, they are all mandatory for Rotman 2, but RSM 100 is the basic foundation of business. That's literally what RSM 100 is. RSM 100 kind of just gives you or teaches you like a little bit of everything. Like, oh, this is what marketing is. This is entrepreneurship. This is business admin, whatever. Here's the structure of blah, blah, blah. It's very basic business stuff. The concept itself is not hard. And I think it's literally in terms of concept-wise, the context of the course, I think it's the easiest course of all Rotman students. But one reason why a lot of people don't like this course, or maybe don't like the professor, or just need to retake the course, is because how it is structured by the professor. So Michael Kahn, as the professor, he has a very famous sentence or famous quote that people would know, and it's, everything is testable, but not everything is test-worthy. What this means is everything is testable, meaning anything that comes out of his mouth, everything that's on his slides, everything that comes out of the guest speaker's mouth, because yes, he does invite guest speakers into his lectures to give presentations, everything is testable. Everything, even the group projects that you are doing, because they have so this is another for context. For RSM100, there's a group project and it's kind of like a mini quiz competition, and I think the semi-finalists or the finalists, they kind of present in front of everyone. And when they present in front of everyone, those are also counted, or it will show up in your exam. Those are testable as well. So everything that happens in that class, doesn't matter how small it is, it will be it's testable. It has a probability of showing on to your exam paper. Yeah, I'm not joking. Everything. And the second part is not everything is test worthy, which means that you need to decide which one is test worthy. And let me tell you, you don't know. You honestly don't know. And I could tell you, I could rant about this all day long because, oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? Let's not get started from there. But essentially, it's very, very hard. And the only way to pass the course is you need to attend every single class. And I'm not saying it's because, oh, like, you know, his teaching is so fantastic, whatever. Like, sure, Michael Kahn is a very good, I would say, public speaker, a very good lecturer, whatever. But I don't know. But anyways, that's just my opinion. Like, he does present well. He is very, very engaging. But the reason why you can't skip class is because you need to record his lectures because everything that comes out of his mouth is testable. That's the reason why you need to go to his class. Like, you can't just like review the slides because he says like some random stuff that's not on the slides and you're like, oh, that's probably going to be on a test. It is on a test. Trust me, it will be. So there's that. What else? There's like, oh yeah, and like guest speakers just like casually saying like, hey, like, you know, blah blah blah. Like for example, what was something? Oh yeah, like I remember there was like this one quote, it was like, oh yeah, if you loved your job so much, like you wouldn't like what was it? Like you don't work a day in your life. Oh my gosh, I already forgot about it. But like that was on the exam, so basically you need to memorize everything. That's how you pass the course. So I would say RSM100 is low-key a, oh my god, holy smokes. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it in D tier, hashtag dropouts, because I think I would actually, I would actually drop out. Like, I will go to TMU or something. I would go to Seneca. I would go to, maybe, you know what? I want to go to Schulich. Like, literally, I will go to any other university if I need to retake RSM100. And I'm not saying that because, like, I despise it or whatever. It's just the fact that it's so emotionally draining and so tiring. Because for any other course, for example, even ECO101, if I don't pass ECO101 and I have to retake it, I already have notes on ECO101. I could just not go to class and I could save my time and I could just review it afterwards and then, you know, retake the exam. But for RSM100, you need to attend every single lecture because Michael Kahn changes his lectures, his course, the entire structure, his textbook every single year. Yes, I am not joking right now. He changes it every single year. So like all of the information or all of the notes that we received from the upper years, they were not even helpful. They were like about some random stuff. Like it was like completely like we've never heard of like those stuff like during our classes because like he changed it completely. So hence the reason why like I'll just like drop out. Like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna retake RSM100. I don't want to listen to Michael Kahn talk about like something else for another like 12 weeks. Like I'm sorry. That's that's it. And end of the discussion. Anyways, oh my gosh, this is such a weird hand position. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to CSC108. CSC108 is my elective for the first semester, and honestly, it's not that bad. Like, I had a professor. My professor was Laura D. Chan. I think she's a pretty average professor. No peaks, no bad things, not really anything. Just, she was alright. That's basically it. Yeah, she's alright. In terms of content, it's very basic because like for CSC108, it's actually just a website, and on a website, it kind of has like all of the videos that kind of tells you or like teaches you the basic concepts before the lecture, and you actually need to take them before the lecture because it's actually worth marks. Yes, so it's not like it's actually mandatory. And once you watch the video, there's no point of going to the lectures, like at least in my opinion. But once again, take it with a grain of salt because I do have coding experience back in high school. So it's not like I walked in like blindly. In high school, I had Java experience, so I knew how to code in Java. For CSC108, you're coding in Python, even though it's a bit different. The syntax is different. But in terms of logic, it's basically the same. So I did have like an advantage in terms of that. But yeah, like I feel like even for people who don't know how to code, I don't think it's, you know, worth going. That's my opinion. But like, no, don't quote me on this. I did not say that you could skip school. Like, this is your decision. But I'm just saying that the videos are very, very helpful, and the practices afterwards are very, very helpful and useful as well. So technically speaking, you don't need to go to lectures. Hence the reason why I don't really know how well my professor is. I just went to maybe like 2 of her lectures, and she seems so fine. Like, she seems like a pretty chill person. So yeah, and it's pretty applicable because CS is computer science, and for me, I'm planning to have a focus in data science, so I kind of need to know how to code. So I think in terms of that, it's a pretty good intro course to introduce you to coding, and yeah, so I don't really have too much complaints about that. And it's also easy to get good marks. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I got a pretty good mark, as long as you try, because most of the marks that you get, it's more of a completion mark. Like, as long as you finish the videos, you do the multiple choice, that's essentially like half of your mark already. And as long as you don't like completely bullshit your exams, then you're fine, because a huge part of your mark is also your projects. And the project, let's just say it's pretty easy, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad. So you should be fine. So I definitely highly recommend CSC108. I would be putting it here as I'm learning, because I think I did learn quite a lot, even though I had prior experience. I don't know, I just really enjoyed the course. I think it's because like I knew coding beforehand, so it wasn't like too much stressful. It was also one of my electives, meaning that like I didn't really technically have to take it, because I know that a lot of second year Rotman students also take CSC 108 because they want to focus in data science. So 108 was not specifically only for first years. It's open for second years or for any years, to be honest, and it's not only for Rotman students as well. So it's only, yeah, so that's basically it. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my tier list. And I think I've been yapping way too much. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you maybe in another few months to update this tier list with the other half of my courses. But yeah, bye bye.